I really enjoyed the fact that Javier was able to kind of come out of his shell. I did watch some of the videos, so I had an opportunity to kind of see him in action. And even though he didn't do much, but he still came home and had so much knowledge, not only about the production, he was excited about the different people who came in and talked about the music business. When he told me he learned about the legal part of it and how he was just really excited about that, that really was, a wow factor for me with the program.
NBC wants to do a day in the life of a black female sports agent, so they'll be following me around in August doing that. But that has been because of my publicist and because of him plugging me in the areas where I don't have time or I just don't have the wherewithal. Like I said, you can't try to be everything. I'm an attorney first, and I try to stay in my lane. And then when I need other people who have the expertise, I hire them. Okay? So,
as a parent trying to figure out what your son or daughter is trying to do, after they after they finish high school, Javier was one that said, "I really don't know what I want to do, Mom." So we did career assessment, and mass communication came up. And the fact that he likes to listen to music, old school, new school, just the knowledge he learned this year from at Hampton University about the history of hip hop and the history of music itself, I think it just really opened up a lot of interest for him. He even went to the library and bought books, just to get knowledge, more and more knowledge. So Mr. Head, Mr. Finner, and all those who were participated in this program, and I'm so appreciative to those who supported it. It was awesome to me. It was an exciting program, and I know this will be a great for our school system.
Yeah. That horn is dope, man. Yeah. That's the JV. So, y'all can see how this thing that y'all call hip hop was emerging, and they were starting to grab different sounds from all over. As we get to the 90s, that marked a different change in hip hop. Josh mentioned, y'all talking about the relationship between hip hop and jazz. In 1983, the relationship between hip hop and jazz was kicked off by this great piano player named Herbie Hancock. He recorded a tune called Rocket, and he used this DJ named Grand Mixmaster DST. And he just basically was doing some scratching in the song. It was a new age type of thing.
Being a part of the EMA program this year, we got a lot of exposure to the different careers and the different things that go into the everyday aspects of music production and, what makes an artist and what makes a producer and an engineer.
What I thought was great is they learned the fundamentals first. It wasn't just, the icing on the cake. They learned the meat and potatoes, as we speak about in the music business. And they had the knowledge from old to new. I threw out some Duke Ellington. They knew it. They just started humming it. I was like, wow. And then, of course, I did some other trap type stuff, and they was able to identify with that too. So I think the importance of this program is how the young embrace the old and vice versa.
Yeah. This would be great for our school system. As a school counselor for Newport News, I believe that there are a lot of students who come through that say, I want to be in the music business, but there's nothing that kind of guides them or helps them to understand it. Taking band and chorus and different music classes, but this particular program, I think, especially for my son, has now paved the way for him to kind of actually really see where he can stand, because there are so many jobs in the music business, but now he actually has had some kind of exposure to that. Once again, just an excited parent and really, really pleased with the program. Javier has come out of his shell, and the fact that he's a senior this year, he really is made him think about a little bit more as to what he wants to do. And to save for an Apple computer, I think that's a great goal, and he's learned something in that program to help him want to save money. So once again, Mr. Head, thank you very much. And if you need anything, I'm here. All right.
And even though it was a really fun program and it was 6 weeks and I enjoyed every bit of it, one of the problems that I had with it was the fact that being the fact it was only 6 weeks, we could only really touch the surface on everything. And I feel like something that would be very important is for it to be extended into a whole 4-year course. So somebody who's a freshman could have the opportunities to learn every little thing about engineering from the first year of high school to their senior year of high school, or somebody who has aspirations of becoming a songwriter or a DJ, they can have the exposure at a younger age. So by the time that they become a senior in high school, they already have those opportunities and those skill sets set up so that they can end up, going and working at one of the many radio stations that we have in this area, or they could work at the Norfolk Scope as an engineer or the Hampton Coliseum as an engineer, because, these are real careers. These are real things that people do every day. And not only that, they have very successful lives by doing it.
You guys there? What grade are you in? 10. 11, yeah. I think I was in middle school when I went to my first radio station, roll up to the, a local radio station, and saw the guy behind the window, and I thought, like, man, that's what I want to do. And I graduated from high school, joined the armed forces, and after several years, I decided that's what I wanted to do. And I spent 20 years on that. I was on aircraft carriers. The aircraft carrier has a complement of about 3,000 men and women. They had closed circuit television stations. We had 3 TV stations, 2 radio stations, and we would broadcast news. Would get the AP, Associated Press wire service. The major networks would cooperate by sending us their program.
Doing it, one of the great things about this area is that when you look at all the producers and all the songwriters and just talent, from Pharrell Williams to, Timbaland to Missy Elliott, the talent is here. And I feel like one of the big things is if Newport News can be one of the main magnets to pull that talent, it would be really great for the area, and it would be really great to showcase that Newport News has a lot to bring to the table, not only academically, but talent-wise, and to show that we're building young minds in a way that we can create and really showcase that we can build a whole industry just off of our students, that we can have engineers who could work with some of the top musicians and top artists in the world, and that we can have producers who are writing some of the the top songs that we hear on the radio every day. And I just feel like that would be really important and actually really cool to see happen, being the fact that I've been in Newport News public schools for so long, and that I just really want to see this program and our school system grow.
So, like I said, Mr. Head, I'm really appreciative to you and your staff, as well as Mr. Fenner, who headed the program too. It was a great experience, and I look forward to hearing about it. And actually, next summer, I'm definitely going to try to get as many kids as I can, and hopefully, this is not just a summer program, but it will be something that can be offered in the school system, because it will be really, really beneficial.